Welcome to the Defiant Open Metaverse show with Vector Meldrew. And what you guys do not know is that for about 10 minutes before we started here, Vector and I were having a wonderful chat. We weren't live. We didn't even realize we weren't live. So we have to do it all over again. It's Vector Meldrew.
Yes, I'm back.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe we did that. We were like on a roll. We were in the flow. We were having a nice little chat about your nifty gateway drop. And we're going to have to do it all over again now. This is... It's I mean, like managing your own outside broadcast, your own live stream, it's like it's a pain in the butt. Anyway, what we should do first is set up our man with the NFT plan, Dan. So the reason Dan is here is because we are doing a giveaway on the show today, and we're giving away a Supduck and a King Frog. And what we're going to be doing is asking you, the viewers at home, or wherever you might be, to tell us your worst NFT wreckage story. How badly have you been wrecked and what happened? And if we like it, if we think it's the best one, and we decide that you are worthy of our beneficence, we will give you a Supduck. And the second place, we'll give you a King Frog. So that's going to be coming up later in the show. We've got an amazing guest in the shape of Roy Scheider. He's going to be joining the show. We've also got Arlo Eisenberg, Alex Smill, and of course, Alexander Newton of Movie Farm will be joining us to talk about creating photorealistic versions of dead movie stars. It's a pretty interesting show, pretty interesting lineup. But Dan, tell the folks at home how they can win an NFT live on this show today.
Well, the first thing you need to know is the description will be going in about 45 minutes into the stream. Basically, the link to go into the actual chat with Robin and Vector will be there, and all you need to know is basically Robin will bring you on, you tell your story, Robin will drop you off whenever he sees fit. He may rug pull you. I do not know. I couldn't possibly tell what this man is going to do half the time. And yeah, main thing is if he drops you off, wait till the very end until the winner is announced. And then in the private chat, I'll grab your details so that we ensure that you get your Supduck or King Frog when you deserve it, because you're the best.
Yes, we will be listening to you. We will be sympathetic, but if we don't like it, we will kick you off, and it will be simply
goodbye.
And you're gone. So if you would like to win an NFT, because it's my own NFTs, I don't just get them from projects. This is my own shit you're getting. So you should be happy about that. Vector, what's your view on giveaways? Good thing, bad thing?
I mean, everyone likes free stuff, don't they?
They do. They do. Do you like free stuff? What was the last free thing that you got?
A T-shirt that I'm wearing that you can't see from my friend who just made a drum and bass album.
Well, you mentioned drum and bass. Like for the 10 minutes that we were jamming quite happily away, we were talking about jungle and everything else. But we should talk about you, sir, because you are dropping on Nifty Gateway right now, as it turns out. I'm going to drop it into the stream so people can see. But here is your Nifty Gateway drop, Mental Breakthrough, it's called. Give us the background to this project and what's it all about.
Yeah, so it's, a celebration of this avatar that I've developed, that I've been presenting myself to the world through, both on this Defiant show. We've also been running events, music events in places like Decentraland, Crypto Voxels, under the title the Crypto Degenerate Rave Lord Jungle Burial Sessions. And it's just going into that deeper. The music is influenced by my passion for, underground pirate movements, which is basically what I grew up on. And the subject is essentially me, the avatar that I'm now choosing to interact to the world through in the metaverse.
That's dope. And so you managed to land on this character that I guess represents a version of you. But what I like about it is it's completely uniquely you. And the color palette's cool, like blue and pink, very Miami. And how did you land on that? How did you get to this sort of LSD version of the Blue Man Group?
Blue Man Group on acid. Exactly. That was the thought process. To be honest, it's hard to say what the process was. I rarely think when I make stuff. I more just sit down and do it. But there was just an intensity. I developed this character when I first started making NFTs, and I was immersed in the ecosystem. And there's almost like an intensity to the information that you're bombarded with, and I felt bombarded with then. So I kind of had this kind of like feeling about everything, which I've transported onto this avatar. And you know, I think also there's you know, I love character design. I follow a lot of character design. There's always something unique that you can convey in the eyes. So my unique eyes are essentially this idea that, you know, we're kind of hypnotizing people, or you're hypnotizing people with the graphics or with the visuals. So I've developed these kind of believe it X-ray vision goggles that can hopefully see through bullshit. It can see through rug pulls and not get wrecked in crypto. I don't know how well it's working so far though.
You know, it's so funny because talking to Arlo Eisenberg, and I don't know if anybody knows Arlo Eisenberg, but like, if you know Tony Hawk, Arlo was as big as Tony Hawk back in the early 90s when all this shit, when like counterculture, it was the golden period of music videos and golden period of like what we know of as modern music, extreme sports, like just street culture. That's when it was hot. Arlo was the man. He's talking about like what happened to critical thinking. Critical thinking died. And I feel like that's exactly what you're saying here. Like there's so much bullshit we get kind of bamboozled into believing stuff left, right, and center. And I guess that's what you're talking about with mental breakthrough here. That's the name of the project. Is it? Are you? Do you feel like we're a you know, like a population that's losing the ability to think for itself to a degree?
In some ways, I think, you know, I think crypto is a good vehicle for testing your neuroplasticity, because there's so many movements that you can get stuck inside one thought bubble or ideology, and that could shift. And if you're still stuck in that and you don't recognize that, it can be, you know, the difference. How soon you realize that is the difference between pleasure and pain, essentially, in terms of market movements. But then also, you know, from the outside looking in, a lot of people still think we're crazy people trading JPEGs. They don't see a lot of the underlying things. They look at it, they just instantly, there's a knee-jerk reaction. It's like scam, pyramid schemes, etc. So with that in mind, I think, you know, there is a perception shift that's needed, like some kind of mental breakthrough to see, you know, past this veil of what you think something is, but actually it's something different. But yeah, I definitely think there's a theme in the world of like critical thinking has got lost. I feel like there's you know, everything's black or presented in a way that's very black and white, but there's just increasingly so many shades of gray. There's so much nuance to many things, but it seems that it's harder to notice that nuance, and it's easier to resort to black and white thinking. So yeah, that's definitely something I think about a lot, actually. Yeah, definitely.
You use the word neuroplasticity. I'd never heard that one before, but it actually fundamentally describes this. And in France, they call sculpture art plastique. And when you hear that, you go plastic art. It's like, I mean, it just sounds kind of flimsy. But that's basically, plastic means kind of shaping and molding something. And our brains need that. They need constant kind of reminders that shit is different. And it's also the same. Like if you train with weights and you train with the same set of weights all the time, your muscles get used to it and they stop being challenged enough to grow. And your brain is the same thing, and your thought processes are the same thing. We need the sands to shift underneath us. And in a sense, we need to be rug pulled, because then we start to rethink what we do. CX NFT Unreal says, good job, Meldrew. Great job, Meldrew. Hang on.
Vector.
Wow.
Great job, Victor Meldrew. I have some applause here somewhere. Like I got a whole bunch of sound effects and like,
Thank you, CX. Thank you, CX.
That was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. But I guess it's good to be an NFT artist right now. So if you are just joining the stream, you're probably excited about the giveaway. Vector, what's your thoughts on giveaways? We are giving away a Subduct. We're giving away King Frog. You can win an NFT live on this stream if you tell us a good enough rectal story. But yes, what's your thoughts on giveaways? Because I'm conflicted.
You're conflicted. Interesting. I mean, who doesn't like free stuff? We live in an ecosystem of airdrops and, you know, people handing out NFTs like left, right, and center. We're in an ecosystem of abundance. So I think it's good you're giving things away to people.
But it's not an airdrop. You've got to work for it. Like an airdrop is just, it's a handout. It's UBI, it's money, it's there, it's in your pocket, job done. But this is not that. I want people to talk about themselves, to open up, to share the very worst of what's happened to them, and then we will mock them. No, we won't. We'll be nice. We'll be nice. I might not be nice. Will you be nice?
I'm always nice. Oh no, but our new policy is to be less nice, though, isn't it? The growth strategy.
It is. Our policy is to be much bigger dicks. And to that end, I've got a bottle of Tabasco. Like, there's something about just being a real dick on camera that's become really exciting for me. I'm so done with kind of being the nice guy and being in the middle of the road and not saying what I think. And it's got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm actually going to say what I think. And later on, we're going to be looking into the SHIB metaverse plans and just what a shit show that is. And we're also going to be looking at some of the things like what Sega's coming up with, what Sony's come up with, what Lego's come up with, this Bored Ape Coinbase thing. And of course, I'm going to be giving away a Sup Duck and a King Frog from my own very own collection. These are my own NFTs. Do you give away shit for free? Does that ever come across your?
I actually did when I started out. It turned out as a contentious topic in NFTs when I did do that, but because I saw NFTs, especially at first, as more like social tokens. So it's more like you're building. Obviously, I want to sell art and all those kind of things, but for early adopters and people that I wanted to stay close to and communicate with, I gave a lot of my original NFTs out for free, just to focus on that, building those solid foundations that people stay with you. Can then hopefully get value from. So it's a difficult thing to do as you get bigger, but I think you should always make your work accessible to people on some level, and I do see a lot of good artists doing that.
I'm just reading through the comments here. My God, people have been absolutely buggered. Someone here is talking about Pixelmon. My worst reference was Pixelmon, enough said. Did you see the Pixelmon?
Yeah, I followed that. Kevin, good old Kevin. That was terrible. I also watched the CoffeeZilla, breaking that down in terms of the gaming thing is ridiculous. Everyone is making a game. I think it's important to say it's really fucking hard to make a game. I've worked in the games industry. I've worked at AAA companies. I've worked on 2 James Bond titles. You can throw so much money. You can throw all the big names. You can throw, big franchises at things. It can still flop. It's the execution risk is so high.
Well, I think what people don't realize is also just how fragile the gaming software itself is. It's like you've got, hundreds of people working on instances of games that are absolutely massive, and any wrong move and the whole thing breaks. So what happens is you get the people work in shifts. So you work on a piece of the game, and then a bunch of shift workers come in to look at everything that you might have broken and then make sure you didn't break it. And then if you did break it, fix it. And then the next kind of tiny piece of development can happen. But you've got people working. It's not like a movie where you write a script and then you shoot the script. Like, the script is constantly evolving, and then there's constant branches of storylines and branches of character development, and then a bunch of stuff comes in, and then you expose it to the gamers themselves. They shit all over it, and then you're suddenly forced to kind of backtrack on these decisions that you took 5 years ago when the conditions were completely differently. And then YouTube happens, and you're like, oh fuck. People don't like NFTs, and like, oh damn, what do we do now? It's brutal. It's brutal. And of course, like, you're so much at the mercy of just what the graphics card supply is doing at that time. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm still waiting for our next guest to come on, so we're just going to carry on riffing. But let's jump into some news. He's here. Alex is here. So let's bring on our first guest. He's a young man from London. He's very handsome. He's a former Hollywood actor and a current Hollywood actor, film producer, scriptwriter, musician, just a jack of all trades, but a master of most of them. He is Alexander Newton.
Need your microphone.
You have to unmute your mic, Alex. I know you've done this before.
I've just done it. I've just done it successfully. Thank you so much for
you're a beautiful human. Alex,
just like
first of all, just give us a little intro to yourself. And before we get into your project, we'll actually go through and get you, me, and Vector across some of the big kind of news headlines. But just give us a kind of a snapshot of who you are and why it is that I brought you on the stream today.
So we've been talking for a while. We've known each other for about a year now. And we share a passion for movies and blockchain technology.
Wow, you guys should date.
I was just gonna give you so much shit. No, like, it's like, bro, so much bromance. Like, I love you. I love you too. Right, me and Swanee on the stream. We're just like, dude, you're so handsome. Like, no, you're so handsome. Carry on.
In the deep Batman voice, yeah. My family and my girlfriend's probably watching right now. So
they love you too.
Yeah, they do. So great to kind of be here at this point in time where the technology for NFT movies to come about is finally here. It's time for movies to enter the metaverse. And this is for a number of reasons. Firstly, we've developed an amazing form of VOD where you can truly own your movies. It's called Movie Key, and our company, Movie Farm, is distributing a movie that we're very, very proud of called Beautiful Blue Eyes, and it stars Roy Scheider, the screen legend, great man in his final role as the lead character in this movie. So yeah, there's the Variety article.
So Roy Scheider is like, it's Hollywood royalty, right? He's the man that fronted the film that basically set the template for every single massive movie that has ever come ever since. So the Marvel Cinematic Universe could not be what it is without Jaws. It is the film that set the template for Hollywood blockbusters, people queuing around the block to see it. And it has not changed since then. And that was, what, 40 years ago now? 50 years ago, probably getting on for. And Roy Scheider was the man in front of the camera for that. Absolute legend. And of course, you acted alongside him or behind him or in front of him, but basically as his younger self. Is that right?
That's true. I have a lot of reasons to be grateful to Roy, and I think about him so much because how thankful I am that firstly we were able to make this movie because he actually greenlit the film. We were originally making a short that he had agreed to do because he loved the story. And on set, he convinced our producer, it's a wonderful guy, Kevin Farr, to finance the whole movie. So Roy got this feature film made. And also another reason why I should be thankful to him is because he gave me his blessing to play the younger version of him in the movie. And before I spent time with him and he got to know me and gave me his blessing, I wasn't cast in the role. So I owe, the fact that I can say I'm an actor to Roy, and also to the other people who made the movie. My dad is the writer director of the movie, and obviously Kevin as well, the producer. But it was really Roy's choice to let me play the other half of his character. And so what I hear is that after spending the afternoon with me, he said, book him, and I got the job. So, thanks, Roy. And it's really sad that he's no longer with us, but he absolutely believed in this film, and he really wanted it to be out. And a few days before he died, he spoke to my dad, and he asked him, he said, Josh, can you change the name of the movie to Beautiful Blue Eyes? Because that's the reason why I really wanted to do this film, is because of the meaning of that in the story. And we're now releasing the movie Beautiful Blue Eyes. Great Roy Scheider's movie. And
why don't we watch the trailer and give you a sense of what it is that we're actually talking about here.
Yeah.
My parents, the whole family, he murdered them all. Who murdered them? That son of a bitch on the stairway! Name, motherfucker.
Ooh, spooky stuff. So we had some glimpses of you in there as a young chuff.
Yeah, that's me at 15 years old. So I'm
15 years old.
Yeah, 15. First time I was in a movie.
Oh my God, I didn't realize you were that young. Holy crap.
Super young. Yeah, this has been a long movie to make, and it's finally been completed with the help of AI and CGI, because it's been an uncompleted movie up until just recently. And we played it for in theaters for our team, and we started getting reviewers to come and watch it here in London just in the past few weeks. And it's the first time that it's been completed up to the standard that the director wanted it to be completed.
Listen,
so held back.
I have to jump in. This is a little screen grab of Roy Scheider, although it's not actually Roy Scheider. It's an NFT of Roy Scheider, and we will jump into all of that because we have to do the usual thing here, which is we have to jump into some sponsors messages. But as soon as we come back, we'll be heading straight into more chat with Alex. We'll also be hearing from Ala Eisenberg, from Alex Smil, and of course that NFT giveaway coming straight up.
We left Earth and settled to Cosmos. Our greatest accomplishment became our downfall. Our struggle for freedom would last 9 decades. Warriors emerged and made the ultimate sacrifice. In the final battle at Miru 36, we achieved victory, but it would be centuries before we would know the cost. Learn our story. This is only the beginning.
Welcome back. It's the NFT Open Metaverse show on the Defiant. We're here with Alex Newton and Vector Meldrew. Coming up later on, we will have an NFT giveaway. Sup Ducks, King Frogs, you know you want it. We want to hear your stories. Alex, we'll be asking you to judge the great and good of this space, whether they deserve to be given something for free. But something that won't be given away for free is an NFT. Tell us about the drop. How did you get here? How did you decide that an NFT drop was the best way to release a movie?
So the way that movies are produced and distributed hasn't really changed to better the experience for the audience as much as I would have liked it to be changed. So being someone who's really interested in technology, I want to create a new format for movie distribution, and it's what we've done over the past year at Movie Farm, is create this. And I'll tell you a story. So when I was a kid, I'm sure you know pretty much everyone can relate to this. I would collect movies. I'd have a movie cabinet. I would have DVDs. I'd have Blu-rays. I'd even have some VHS. And my friends would come over, and we would pick something out to watch. And these were my movies, or they might have been my dad's movies, or one of my mum's movies might have been there. Everybody had their movies in the cabinet, and it was a great way to, see what someone's taste is like, to see, what they would like to collect, and to feel like you have ownership over what you've purchased as well is really quite amazing. So when I would want to buy like a new PlayStation game or something, and they were, quite pricey, they were like $59.99. I would go to CEX, which is Computer Exchange here in the UK. For anyone who doesn't know what Computer Exchange is, it's like an electronics exchange where you could take discs and consoles and PCs and whatever you want, and you could trade it in. You get cash, or you get store credit. And so I would sit next to my cabinet when I know that I want to get like Halo or something, like the new game, and I would put what I want to keep on the left, and I would put what I'm willing to trade on the right. And I'd take what I'm willing to trade to Computer Exchange in a bag, and the person behind the desk would say, okay, well, we'll give you, £63 for all of this stuff. I would say, oh, okay, I only need 59. So, give me this one back. And that's ownership, and then I give them what we trade. And digital seemed great at first, like VOD. When Apple came out with the iTunes movie store, I bought so many movies. Like, I had a movie collection of hundreds of movies from the iTunes movie store, right? And it seemed great because they're fast. And I don't even know what account that is anymore. I don't even have that iTunes account. I just don't even know where it is. So what I bought has vanished. Okay, I'm sure I could log in and get it. But even if it hadn't vanished and I still had the access to watch those movies, that's not true ownership from the same point of view as what owning a physical object is. Like a disc, that's a license to view in a walled garden, right? So with Movie Key, we're going to transform distribution for movies by enabling you to own a movie and take it anywhere you want with it. Take it anywhere you want and do whatever you want with it. And if you want to trade it, you can trade it. If you want to give it to a friend, you can give it to a friend. And the long-term vision is that we would enable every filmmaker who's making movies to use the technology that we've already built with Movie Key to be able to distribute their movies and to transform the way movies are distributed, because it's a very hard process distributing a movie. Even getting a movie online on a store takes a long time. It should be easy. And we've built tools, and we've been working on various different tools for production and distribution for 2 years now. And for the past year, we've been focusing on the distribution side of it. And with Movie Key, and also there's Movie Key Plus, you can own a digital movie, truly own it. So our distribution strategy is we're releasing this movie in theaters on June 10th. It's going to premiere as a charity premiere in London in Leicester Square on June 6th. And the movie is going to be available on Movie Key. If you want to truly own it, get the Movie Key. And if you want to rent it, you can rent it on traditional VOD platforms like Apple and Amazon. But if you want to truly own it and experience the future of movies, you should go to moviefarm.com and get the Movie Key. And it's the first movie we're releasing as a Movie Key, but it's the first of many. We're already signing up other filmmakers for their movies who see that really the time for movies to evolve with Web3 technology has come. And the beautiful thing about this is we're at a time where you can be chain agnostic. It doesn't matter necessarily what the blockchain is. The blockchain is like an operating system. People choose Chrome OS, people choose Apple, Mac OS, people choose Windows, people choose Linux, right? That's how I see blockchains. And really, Movie Key is the utility that's built on top of it and should be able to travel across any blockchain. So we're going to have this available on multiple different chains. There's a few chains that are specifically aligned with the kind of scalability that Movie Key needs. So, and what you're seeing here with the model, with the 3D model, which is just what you're seeing is a preview.
Let's give people a sense of what this is, because this is kind of the entry point for the Beautiful Blue Eyes ecosystem, but it's kind of a pilot project for Movie Farm, I guess, as well at the same time.
Yeah. So what you're looking at is a early test render of what is going to eventually be a full 3D model. The 10,000 one-of-one unique models of the main character in the movie as portrayed by Roy Scheider. And it's a collectible action figure, and you'll be able to do lots of different things with it. And it's going to be the Movie Key Plus. So we got Movie Key, which is this pure emulation of Blu-ray in the metaverse. And then Movie Key Plus is a rare collectible. It's very limited edition. It comes with this artwork that we look at and we think it's a photo most of the time. We are building a community around the experience of this technology and Movie Key Plus and the movie, and believe that the entertainment should really last longer than just the length of the movie. So we're taking the movie on the road with Movie Key Plus, and Movie Key Plus owners will be able to come to physical screenings, and they'll be able to get in with their Movie Key Plus and our app that we're going to also allow any other cinema to be able to license from us as well. It's called Cinema Friend. And essentially, it'll give you access to a community, and there's going to be tons of other things on the road. This is a very long-term thing. Movies really last forever, and we want the community around this film and the project in general to really last. So, like, we're in this. We're fully doxed. Of course, like my co-founder Martin Myers. He is a veteran of movie distribution, and he has a story of his own, which is amazing. His dad's called Michael, so the name might ring a bell. Michael Myers.
Kind of him.
There we go. So his dad actually discovered John Carpenter with a great movie called Assault on Precinct 19.
Oh my God, that film is amazing. Oh my God. It's like the purest B movie that there has ever been made. It is so good. They remade it as well. And the remake's pretty good, actually. for like a B movie revival. But oh my god, Assault on Precinct 13 is just like, it's pure B movie perfection. I love it.
Yeah.
Alex, you and I are both movie fanatics, but the golden age of the movies was 70s, 80s, and it had a revival in the 90s, of course. But like, movies as we knew them, can they still excite a younger audience or excite an audience? Like, Ray Scheider is an old dude who is actually dead, but you've brought him back. But like, how does a younger audience connect with that and with what he represents?
I think, well, I know that Roy loved movies, and I know that he loved this movie, and if he's watching, he definitely wants it to come out. So the future of movies, I think, is even more exciting than the past. And I think that this ability to build community with Movie Key and build it around movies in Web3 with NFTs, and to engage people in new ways, and to really enrich the experience of cinema in new ways. Like, we're taking this movie on the road. We're going to be there. We're going to be in the screenings. We're going to be at the parties. You're going to be able to ask us questions. You're going to hear stories of the set. The internet is bringing the audience closer to the artists. And there's no community like a community making a movie. You work on a movie for like 18 months, 2 years, sometimes even longer, 10 years. And it becomes, a family of artists that all have their own incredible talents coming together to make a singular piece of work, a piece of art. And I think that we can use the technology and the metaverse to bring more people into making movies and to share the craft, right? To enrich the world with movies. And movies can equal other things, right? Like, they can equal collectibles, they can equal games, they can equal, all sorts of different things. But as a piece of art, I think they are the culmination of, or can be the culmination of, every other piece of art that exists. So where does it lead? And we have, with Bored Apes.
I tell you where it leads. It leads here. It leads into digital recreation of talent. Talking to Jules Urbach last week, specifically about this, about the moral and ethical implications. And of course, he was deeply involved in the resurrection of the younger Mark Hamill for The Mandalorian, for Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So there are some ethical considerations here, but I guess at the end of the day is, what is talent, and what do we invest in, and what do we care about? Vector, I'm curious what you make of this, because you're much more of a 3D artist than I will ever be. When you see this, what do you think?
Oh, that's not real. That's a render. Wow. Sorry, I just picked up on that. Yeah, that's realistic, right? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So the history behind this is we've been working on this for a very long time. And Steven Spielberg gave us a model that was used in Sequest, which was a show that Roy was in the 90s.
So many feels. So many feels. The sad thing is, the lead actor on that committed suicide. He had a terrible time and took his own life. And it was, but yeah, I remember Sequest TSV very, very well. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We didn't know Roy was going to die when we were making this movie. And Roy didn't think he was going to die when he was making this movie. Roy was adamant that this was his comeback. And when he passed away with an incomplete film, and we're carrying the torch for Roy, and we're reminding people what an amazing actor he was. And he may be dead, but he will live forever on the screen, and his performances will last forever. And we are carrying that. And with this model, this action figure, it's to remind people that this great man existed, and that this is his final performance, and that it is something that is going to be remembered because he really gave it his all, and it's his comeback. Whether he's here or not, it's his comeback, and he really wanted it to be. So, we feel very strongly about it. And we're also, in the middle of all these coincidences that have happened with the movie. It's just, we'd have to have a whole nother show to talk about it. Probably in the Discord or another time, like how many weird coincidences there are around this film.
Well, I think basically what we're looking at here is that cinematic history, cinematic culture has endured for hundreds of years. And when I went to the Arctic, the medium that they were using to cement NFTs in the ground in a vault was celluloid. It was film. Film has an emotional connection to people in ways that we still trying to figure out. And when you watch something on film, like the TV show Euphoria is shot on film, you can tell. You may not necessarily know that it's shot on film, but you can tell because it has a richness, it has a visceral quality to it that film delivers in ways that digital can't. And that is something about cinema that connects with people on an emotional level. And that's really exciting. That's propels me headlong into a story I would love to get your thoughts on, which is this. Bored Apes Go Hollywood, Coinbase produced movie trilogy. Now, before we get onto that, let me just remind you that we're going to be giving away some NFTs later. Stick around because we want to hear your worst REKT stories. But before we get into that, Bored Apes Go Hollywood with the Coinbase produced movie trilogy. Alex, what did you make of this as someone that's actually in film?
I think it's great. To be fair, I think the more that you can engage people with the idea that NFT projects are leading to movies, the more fun there's going to be in the space. I don't know what it's going to end up being like, but they should definitely get in touch for it to be a movie key. And
you dirty shill! It's like, oh yeah, bruv, use my platform. They're not going to
definitely make it a movie key.
Like the list of approved suppliers for Coinbase is like 5, maybe, because they got the SEC jammed so firmly up their a-holes that they can't do anything. You think this is a good thing?
I think it's great. I think anything.
But why do you think it's great? I think it sucks, to be honest with you. But like, I'm really curious to know what you think.
Anything that, well, for me personally, anything that promotes people making art. And can engage the world in more creation, probably leads to less destruction in the world. I know that's pretty deep, but I do believe it. I believe that art can make the world a nicer place and it can give people purpose. And if the Bored Ape collectors are getting super excited about a movie, I think they're 3 short movies. Is that correct? They're 3 short.
Nobody knows. They're 3 interactive movies.
This
is the problem I have with it. I mean, there's so many problems I have with it, but like, they want people to write their own character bios for their apes and then submit them, then they will choose them, but they don't say how they will choose them. So they're basically using other people's writing to generate story. That's the first problem I have with it. The person who's behind it, the executive producer, if you will, has no track record in film. They're also saying that they're going to release these things in June. June is very close around the corner, and like, it's an animated movie. So what is it they're going to deliver? 60 seconds?
It might be.
60 seconds of interactive is going to suck. It's going to suck. Also, Bored Apes have no bodies. They have no legs. So someone has to design those and create those and make them work. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, there's a lot of question marks. But also,
you can have that video. Do they have feet in that?
No, not really. Well, and the other issue here, which I know you're going to respond to the most, who is writing it?
Who is writing it?
Nobody knows. If they announced, like, someone decent,
I'll write it. It'll be funny.
If they announced Shane Black was writing this, I'd be all in. Seriously. But like, who? This is going to suck so badly. But it's also like, it's a way of shitting the Coinbase wallet. It's basically a way of getting more users of the Coinbase wallet. And I just think the whole thing smells horrible. And I applaud them for even attempting it. But the guy that's behind it, he has no track record in film, and it's just IP exploitation, and it sucks. The whole thing, it just stinks. So that's my take on it. Let's jump to another story. Sony and the Lego family bet big on the metaverse with $2 billion investment in Epic Games. I know you're you were the person that got me into Epic Games and Unreal Engine and really, looking into virtual production. Any thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, because of Corey, right? Like Corey,
Like Corey Strasburger, Poonellen, Xanadu, yeah, the man.
That is talent right there.
Yes.
And yeah, I think this is all, it's all coming together for people to perform with each other, and you know, I see community theater being in the metaverse in the future. I see
Really.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of fun playing characters and just, you know, like letting all this energy out. You know,
do you go LARPing, Alex? Do you just head off and like put on a helmet and some leather shorts and just go LARPing?
Laughing, yes, I'm a laugher for sure. In some other universe.
Vector's LARPing right now.
I LARP every day. That's why I've got an avatar. I can basically do or say what I want. LARPing my face off.
To be honest, I used to look up laughing because I don't know what I just said. Is it
live action role play? It's like what we all do on like the
right, yes,
of you know, like I forget what movie it's in, but like live action role play. Just, you know, go and reenact a battle. Just go and you know, do some Quidditch. Just go and have a lovely game of Quidditch out in a park somewhere. That's LARPing. Although I don't think we're allowed to say that anymore in a post J.K. Rowling, whatever it is she said, world. Oh dear.
It was in Hawkeye.
Here's another story that that popped on my radar. This is the M by Proto. This is a like, it's fucking stupid. It's the world's first tabletop holographic communication and media device. So here you've got your punks and a guy drinking a cup of coffee and just completely transfixed by this massive chunky plastic box sitting in front of him. There's no way that thing works like that. Oh look, grab your chin, because that's what thoughtful people do. Oh look, she's shopping. That's a great shopping experience. So this is oh good lord. I don't know what to make of this.
You go on that exercise mirror, you know, the exercise mirror that was big.
Yeah. There was Philips had a shaving mirror, so it would show you what your face would look like if you shaved it in a particular way, and then it would tell you where to shave, because the mirror itself on its own is not enough. Like there's a world in which technology just gets way too much in the way. But this
is Black Mirror stuff.
It's so Black Mirror stuff, and like it's so unabashedly unself-aware. That's what I find so funny. But they say the future is now.
It's actually not now. It's in a moment.
Oh god. Well, yes, no. It's got an asterisk on it. So target price subject to change if you can actually ship it. But of course, they're basically selling this as a metaverse.
It looks kind of cool. I'll be fair. Like it looks kind of cool. In certain.
If you're blind, yes, sure, okay.
No, I like the idea that you can do something like this. It's, you know, like holograms and stuff, but it kind of looks like, oh, I don't want to be too critical because I want to be nice to people, but
why?
No,
it looks
how
like
are they going to make it better if you're not critical?
Almost. It looks almost like something in a hospital.
To be fair, though, you need someone to make this so they can make it better. But here we go. NFTs, display your NFT collection as it was meant to be. I don't get that. Like, there's no way that punks were ever meant to be anything other than they were, which is two-dimensional. They weren't ever meant to be holograms. Like, what NFT was ever meant to be a hologram? And here we go. Communication. Connect with friends and loved ones as if they were there in person. Because, like your loved ones really look.
There is actually something telemedicine there. You see that? Like, so they are actually trying to put it in hospitals. So
it's the perfect tool for telemedicine appointments and health information. Trust me, I worked on Philips projects for a long time, and Philips is massive in healthcare. This is bollocks.
The issue is they don't show the actual hologram technology. It's all just mock-ups. So when they say it's a hologram, like what kind of actual hologram technology is this? Like,
nobody knows. That's the thing. So you can't just make a third dimension and an extrusion of an object if it isn't there. So you can't just take a thing that's two-dimensional and give it like the backside of it, because you can't. It doesn't exist. The information isn't there. So someone has to model that, and then it has to be translated into a format that this thing can read. And like, does it make the experience better? So where I can see this possibly having a use case is in public spaces. So for a museum or for an airport or something like that, I could see that. And I've seen some weird things at airports that they kind of grab your eye and you go, oh shit, maybe I should pay attention to Doris here, who's telling me how to put a label on a suitcase. But yes, It's such garbage.
You know about the back of something though. I think AI can do that. Like it's getting good where you can take a photo and it can guess what the back of it and then make a 3D model out of it. The next few years with AI are going to be some of the papers that are coming out. What a time to be alive. That's an Easter egg, by the way, if you watch 2-minute papers. It is an amazing time to be alive for AI, guessing what the backside of an NFT might look like, for sure. So,
it makes me so mad. I just want a human being to serve me my coffee in the morning. Is that too much to ask? I don't need a robot to do it. It is now time.
I make a cup of coffee for me.
It's now time to add Dan, the NFT man, back to the stream. Dan, can you give us a quick recap on what our lovely viewers need to do in order to win themselves an NFT?
I can. It's going to get harder and harder as the stream goes on because I'm drinking quite heavily. So as soon as we conclude, listen, what happens. It all stays above board. So the first thing is, as soon as this interview concludes, I'll be adding the stream link to the description below in the YouTube stream. So all you need to do is refresh the page and then click on the link and you will be in the lobby of our live stream. And after that, Robin will bring you in, drop you out. The main thing that you need to remember is if you come in, tell your story, and then you are dropped out, just remember to stay on the stream so that he can announce the winner and I can get the details. It's free shit. Everybody wants it. The only free shit I've gotten in 2022 is COVID. So, you know.
I've got a story. Yeah. But I'll let someone else win it because, and I'll tell mine in my Discord later on the Movie Farm Discord. That's how I'll tell my rug story where I got rugged so hard that it hurt for years.
You liked it. So I'm going to go full screen. So if you are just tuning in, we are giving away an NFT. We want to hear your stories, how you got wrecked. You could win this duck or this frog, depending on how good you are. All that's coming up after this message from our sponsor. Is your crypto sitting idle without earning you any passive income? On Nexo, you can maximize the value of your crypto in no time and earn rates of up to 17%. Their web platform and mobile app are super easy to use. You can buy crypto with cards instantly and start earning interest paid out daily. The Nexo exchange has over 300 market pairs. Every time you swap or buy crypto, you get up to 0.5% cash back that's automatically added to your wallet. If you want to finance buying a car or a trip to a faraway place, you can borrow cash by using your crypto or NFT as collateral. You don't lose your crypto, and you can get borrowing rates as low as 0% APR. Nexo has over 4 million users worldwide, and their platform is equipped with a top-quality security infrastructure designed to ensure maximum protection of assets at all times. Go to nexo.io and get started today. Hey, so we're back. I was trying to put a post out on Twitter saying, giveaway time, giveaway time, giveaway time.
Goodbye.
Oh. Oh, I pressed the wrong button, fam. NFT Dan, the man, is here. Vector Melger is here. Alexander Newton is here from Movie Farm. Thanks for joining the stream, everyone. We're just going to get into it. Well, Alex, why don't you give us the lead off by telling us the worst REKT story that's happened to you?
Oh, okay. All right. Gosh. Well, I'm still trying to get over this one because it infuriates me. But does it count if it was like in 2017, 2018? It's not NFT. It still counts if it's
crypto definitely counts. Like people got absolutely
obliterated.
Well, yeah, painfully penetrated by the market. So what happened?
I mean, look, I like to envisage a future where things are better. Okay, so if a new technology comes out or a promise of a new technology comes out and it looks amazing, I will get behind it. For better or worse. So if a new technology comes out or a promise of a new technology comes out and it looks amazing, I will get behind it. For better or worse. So if a new technology comes out.
But I don't know what that means. You'll get behind it or it will get behind you.
Is this playing in two videos? Like, did you hear that delay?
Oh, I'm messing with you, man. I don't know what's going on. It's entirely possible that I had two things going on at the same time, like multitasking. Like
hearing my own voice back,
like a boss.
So fun.
I have a reputation for messing up the audio feed. There's so much complex stuff going on here. It doesn't just happen, you know.
So it was a phone, I'll just say that. And it was a phone that promised to put a hardware cold storage wallet in the phone. And there was a big footballer behind it. The promise was that it was going to revolutionize crypto and bring it to the people, and securely with cold storage wallets in your phone. And it looked like a cool phone. And there was a token that promised to be, and still promises on their website, to be the exclusive token. I better not read it wrong, otherwise then I'll get in trouble. The exclusive payment method to purchase said company's products and services turned out not to be. Turned out that you didn't need the token to buy the product at all. Turned out that the token didn't actually seem to do anything. And they kept changing the phone, like bait and switch. They raised 150 million something with the world famous, like greatest footballer ever. And they did like a demo day, and it just yeah. And I really tried to believe, and I was early into crypto in that sense as an investor, naive, and held on because I believed that something would like turn it around, but it didn't. And it was a rug. It was like, what's a slow rug? Because it was actually like rug after rug, but I like kept getting back on because I really believed that they would pull it off, but they had, you know, other you know, results.
I think they call that the long con.
The long con.
They repeatedly mashed you in the face, and you liked it because you're that kind of a masochist.
I'll make a movie about it one day, like whether it's that exact story or a story that is inspired by it. I think it's like a valid moment in the story of, you know, crypto. So for a few years, I couldn't even look at coinmarketcap.com. And then in 2020, I got back into NFTs. I actually had NFTs since 2017 with the CryptoKitties. I've still got them. So so you know, I've been thinking about this. Yeah.
Well, I have been. I've been like, you encounter scammers all the time, and I was approached by a film production that wanted to make a film that, as it turned out, was a massive money laundering scam. I went and met the producers. They even made a film and a documentary about that production, and the director, the patsy that ended up doing that film, basically said, like, I had no idea what the fuck I was getting into. I met all the same people, and like I was having the conversations, and like they were telling me like this friend will vouch for me, and they were giving me all of this, and it was an Abu Dhabi businessman who was funding this film. It was all bullshit, but I really wanted to believe it, and like so much of that played out, even though I met these people. But people get fucked in the face repeatedly in this space, and I want to give something back. So listen, Dan, what have you done to make this giveaway possible? How do people get involved?
So I've updated the description, and now the StreamYard link is available, and we have the first drop.
We have the first contender, Jahamek. Welcome to the stream. Tell us your story. You have to unmute, otherwise we kick you off. Jahamek, speak.
Well, he's a man of mystery, obviously.
He's a man of mystery. His story is that nothing happened. We're going to give him a count of 5.
Hold on a minute, folks. I can't hear anything.
Here we go.
He's here. He can speak.
How do I... Wait, hold on.
You're live on air.
He's live on air.
Don't self-rug.
Don't self-rug. We do. You know what we need, though?
Emotion.
Have you got any violence?
Hold on.
Oh god, I'm thinking about Hape again.
We're gonna have to kick you off the stream, yeah.
I can hear through the YouTube video I'm watching. 1 minute. I can't hear through this StreamYard thing though.
I'm gonna kick you off the stream, but not good, and bring some other people on by.
Goodbye.
If nobody else comes on, so I win by default.
King Squallow, you're live. Tell us your story, sir.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, we do. Welcome.
Oh, that's amazing! Super
Yeah.
massive. I'm such a big fan of you, man.
Thank you,
Thank you for all your content. Thank you for all your content. Okay, so the story of how I got rugged. Basically, I rugged myself. You know, I started buying NFTs not too long ago. As a matter of fact, well, I was educating myself first. I got into crypto last year, and then started getting educated on NFTs. When they pulled the trigger, because I basically was just afraid of buying it, you know, because I had my portfolio into crypto, into my savings, into regular stocks, and I was just afraid of putting some more money somewhere else. But I did. I bought my first NFT on Valentine's Day of this year. So it was just in February 14. And then actually, because of you, I was able to get in the allow list for cyber brokers. So I'm a cyber brokers holder, which I'm very proud of. And thank you. And so then, well, I wrote myself one night. I was just, you know, scrolling on Twitter and OpenSea, and then Kevin become very mainstream, and there was this project
I
to
think we
say
should give you some money for a better
become
internet
something
connection, at
beforehand.
I mean, I get it. It's Kevin. I think Kevin is a Kevin rug. Classic Kevin.
I think
Sorry?
he's rugged us. I'm sorry. Well, we were in mid flow there, but it was getting a little boring. Spice it up. Spice it up. Give us the good stuff. In 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye.
He's rugged himself. He rugged himself.
It's gone. CX NFT Unreal. Are you there? Speak up.
Yeah, I'm there. Good afternoon. My name is Caleb. I'm a big supporter of your show. Been watching for the past 6 months to 1 year. My NFT REKT story happened like 2-3 weeks ago. So I woke up on a Monday afternoon and I was scrolling around Twitter and OpenSea looking for what to buy. I don't know. I just had this itch to buy an NFT, and then I decided to go through influencers' wallets, whereby I copied their ENS name, put it on Etherscan, get their wallet address, drop it on OpenSea, and then go to the activity tab to see what they are minting. So I copied Farok.its wallets, big that on OpenSea, and saw that it was minting an imaginary one's NFTs. So I clicked on it, it opened me to the collection, I saw it, and then I saw a website. So I clicked on the sales that's what there, and then go to the Etherscan of that particular thing I was minting. I saw that the amount minting was about expiring, so I just had this FOMO to click buy. So I converted my ENS token to it through CowSwap, and then I went to the website and I clicked on the button to mint, and I began scrolling between Etherscan to watch my transaction gets completed. And after like 30 minutes, it was done. And then I saw the NFT in my wallet on OpenSea, and then I began to fall into it. It was at that period that I got this desire to just check around and sure if what I bought was real. And then I went back to Twitter and got to see the Imaginary One's official Twitter page. I saw that they were not live yet, and it was at that moment I knew that I just lost 0.128. So I sat down for a while, contemplating what to do. I tried to see if there was means to sell it and all of that. I figured that it was big and all of that. So after like 1 hour, I reported the collection, the fake Imaginary One NFT collection to OpenSea. And after some hours, it got taken down by OpenSea, and I was left with an image in my wallet. And that's the story.
Ah, that's harsh. I've heard that story a lot. We'll keep note of that one. So that's CX NFT
Apparently,
Unreal.
I think it was caused by a bug on OpenSea, whereby they enable scammers to mint an NFT and make it look like someone else's wallet has minted it, whereas in actual sense it didn't happen. All right.
I'm sorry to hear it.
That's
Let's bring
common
on
story.
Alex Gill. Alex Gill, welcome.
What's up?
Speak, sir.
I'm gonna just share the story. I mean, you know it.
I mean, it was more of like a roller coaster get wrecked moment. So I had my duck listed because I was trying to buy some floor ducks, and then somebody in the Discord hit me up asking to buy it. They acted like real slow, and I was like, all right. So I'm talking to them for a little bit. They asked if we could get like admin help. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know what I mean? They sent me the admin that they talking to. I look up both the ads in the sub chat or whatever. Her ad pops up and the admin's ad pops up. So I'm like, all right, bet, I'm cool. We start talking about buying my duck. She said that she loaded up ETH, but it's not letting her purchase it or whatever. So the admin talk about something. Would you all be cool with doing an over the counter deal? You know what I mean? Like I'll be a middleman. I was like, all right. Like started looking around in the chat more. I was like, all right, I'll do it. I was like, that's cool, because it was whatever I was getting from my duck. So I load up some ETH or whatever to pay for the gas fees. I send the duck over to the wallet or whatever. Then the person asked me if I'm willing to sell my chunk because they're trying to be a collector. I was like, I'm a little skeptical. I was like, if the price is right, and the way that they're negotiating the price with me makes it seem like they know what they're talking about. So I was like, all right, we lock in a deal. They go back in the group chat or whatever, and they're like, all right, wait, we're about to do another deal or whatever. I'm about to send over some more, and then he's about to send over the chunk. So I was like, all right, give me a second, because I have my chunk as my Discord picture. I was like, let me change that, John. Change it, send it over, boom. They deleted that fucking DM or whatever. They closed that, John. Blocked me and everything. Boom. I'm sitting there. I'm so confused. I look up the ats in the group chat or whatever. Bull impersonated the admin, like made a fake account and acted as a middleman. And I was sitting there like I didn't know what the hell to think. I was so salty. And then I go in the chat or whatever. Couple hours pass. I see Sup Massive. He did a floor sweep on some ducks, and I hit the sale bot, and I was like, yo, this my duck, like it's stolen or whatever. OpenSea didn't get to it in time, and then he was being a real thorough ass bull, and he sent it back to me. And then that's more of like that's the roller coaster. And then I wake up in the morning at like 4:00 in the morning because I'm feeling like real sick. Like I'm just having a real bad day. And then I see in the sub chat, they're like, yo, Alex gonna wake up a real happy motherfucker. And I was like, what are they talking about? And then I see back, I'm in chunk chat. And then I check my wallet and I see my chunk is back. I'm like, hey, yo, what the hell? And then I see who sent it back. And I was like, oh man, that's crazy. And then he DM'd me, was like, it'd be worth your while checking your wallet again, bro. And I was like, if I wasn't part of a good community, I would have been lost out of so much money. And the way I got the ducks and whatever, it was just like a life blessing or whatever. So that was a roller coaster get wrecked moment for me.
And have you taken it on to be like a bit more responsible with how you?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm somewhat like new to the space as well. So when they hit me up and I did my research, I was like, okay, it doesn't seem too far, because I take this like what everybody says. If it seems too good to be true, then like don't do it. Like they wasn't hitting me up with some crazy ass like offer like I was getting. Like it genuinely seemed like legit, and like how it played out. That was my first like trying to do a sale. So I was just like shit, like, and then from that point on, like, because I had my DMs open only for my cook group in the other Discord, so I was lacking with that. So when they hit me up saying, is this like still available, like they sent me the thing on OpenSea, I was like, yeah. I was like, and then from now on, anytime somebody hits me up, I don't really be trying to talk to them about it. I was like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'll be sus at anybody now that be hit me in my phone now.
DMs shut.
Yeah,
Imagine it's your 15-year-old daughter. What happens?
After that, I saw everybody in the other Discord. I was like, yo, y'all gonna have to add me if you want to talk to me. Because I was like, I'm not going through that again. That was so stressful.
Thank you, Alex. It is time to say goodbye. And we are going to move on to the next one. It's James.
Hello, can you hear me?
James, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo, what's up, Robin? What's up, guys? What's up, Alex? I just want to say, Robin, I don't know like everything about the Defiant, but I follow the newsletter, so and I have that, and it comes in like daily, so I really appreciate all the news. But yeah, so my story is a little weird. It has to do with an NFT, but it's like a long rug. I purchased. It was my first NFT I ever purchased. It was called the Mad Banana Union. Like I don't know, 6-7 months ago. And I forgot about it. It was sitting in a wallet, whatever. I do community management services, right? So for Discord and NFT communities, and
Wait, you're James. You're movie from
yeah. What's up, Alex? What's up? I'm actually Alex's community manager. So,
Scam.
I didn't know you were coming on. I genuinely didn't know.
Yeah. So
was it
happened?
This?
Yeah, exactly that. So what happened is it turns out like the original, like 6 months after this, I had one of my clients send me like 4 weeks of payment up front, right? And it was around like $5,600, somewhere in there. And it came in, and this was like in February, something like that. And it came in, but I didn't see it. So I'm looking at my wallet. 2 days go by. I'm like, hey guys, we still haven't been paid. What's going on? He's like, no, I sent you the money like 2 days ago. And I go in and I look, and the transaction, it came in, and within seconds later, $5,600 was sent out. And within seconds. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? Right? This is the first time like, I've been hacked or anything like that. And I look around, and it was the wallet only had one NFT in it, and it was the Mad Banana Union. And so I go into the Discord, and literally that day, like 2 hours before this transaction happened, their original founder or whatever rugged and was pulling like every connected wallet to their website, was pulling all of the funds out of the wallet. So not only did I get rugged like the thousands of dollars, now I also had to perform the services, right? Because I can't go to these guys and be like, hey, I know you paid me, but can you pay me again? So I had to then do a month's worth of services and like pay out of pocket to my team and get rugged. And it was just like probably the worst experience like I've ever had. So, and
yikes, that's nasty.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Alex? What do you reckon, Dan? Victor, that feels like it hits hard.
That's a big one.
That is huge. I want to ask you a question. When you signed the transaction on their website, or signed the signature request on their website, was it like an OX signature request, or was it a number, like a few numbers?
I have no idea. It was my first NFT I ever purchased, right? So whatever, I just was like, oh yeah, NFT, and then like connect to the website, and so I just agreed, and he did it to like he did it to everyone, They told
that's nasty. Like if you saw the Crypto King, the Hunt for the Crypto King, like the way Gerald Cotton really abused people. Oh god, there's so many good kind of scammer stories on Netflix. You should watch them all and get super wise. Thanks, James. We're going to say
goodbye
and move on to our next one, which is Goose. Goose, welcome. We saw your face earlier. You don't have to share it, but tell us your story at least.
What's good? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Good. Cool. So my REKT story was, I don't know, about 7 months ago, maybe October last year. I was only just getting into NFTs and crypto in general. I'd minted my first NFT, which was a Rare Ghost Club, and I was hooked. NFTs, it was interesting, it was new, it was shiny. I wanted to know everything about them. I wanted to collect more. And, I'd been hitting up Twitter Spaces, listening to people talk about their projects, listening to people talk about the technology in general. It was really cool, There was lots of info being shared. And there was one thing that caught my eye called pumpkin heads. And they were these cool little cartoon pumpkin dudes, varying colors and styles. And I think I'd missed the mint, but I was interested in them. They looked cool. And the devs were appearing in a lot of Twitter spaces. They were talking about their roadmap. They were building a thing called the Vault, where you could stake the pumpkin heads and earn seed token. And I just wasn't sure about it. I wasn't sure, if I wanted to chuck any money on it. And I'm watching them for a few weeks, and I'm checking it out on OpenSea, and I see one that's pretty cool, and it's only like $40. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll ape in, do it, why not? And I cop it, and that was it. I was like, yeah, cool. I'm into this community. I'm along for the ride. I'm going to see what they build. And I'm checking in on it, every couple of days or so. They're still on Twitter Spaces, and then it starts getting a little bit quieter. There's a little bit less from the developers each week, and then a little bit less, and a little bit less, and then one day I get home and I think, I'll check on Discord, but it's not there. The Discord's just gone. It's not in my list of search anymore. I go on Twitter and I'm like, search Pumpkinheads, nothing there. There is no Twitter account. There's nothing. They've deleted everything. They've deleted their Medium, their Twitter, their Discord. All socials vanished. There's nothing left. There's not a trace, apart from the glorious little Pumpkinhead sitting in my wallet that does nothing. And all I can say is I'm glad I only spent $40.
Yeah, you have to get really good at just absorbing the losses, but also knowing that around the corner there's a good community. And I think the reason I stick around with Subducks is, like, it's just a good group of people. It's not like overhypey. It's not like an Azuki hype machine where it's just like blah, and then you just got all these clout chasers and gold diggers in there. This is why I'm perennially a Subduck supporter, and which is why I'm happy to share the love and spread them around. On that note, thank you so much, Goose, for giving us your story.
Goodbye.
And we will add this young man to the stream. Antricles, the legend himself.
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So a bit of backstory on Antricles. Antricles is a huge figure in the Subducks community, and I'm very excited to have him on. So tell us your story, Monsieur.
Oh man, well, my story is a bit legendary. It actually cemented my love for Subducks, to be honest, even though it technically didn't have anything to do with Subducks. First of all, it's great to see you guys, and thanks for having me on. So New Year's, it was late, and I did a couple things you should never do in NFTs, namely get drunk and muck about with NFTs. So there I was, and it was just before midnight, and there's we've all been living in the same world for the last couple of years. Things have been rough. Certain things have been working, other things have been haven't, and a lot of people are in financial pickles, as it were. And my world wasn't so dire, but enough that I was willing to maybe consider some deal. Some guy hits me up out of nowhere with literally like 2 minutes to midnight and says, "Hey, the classic scammer ruse, is your NFT still for sale?" So right there, you're like, yeah. Which one? So he's like, "Well, what is your wallet? I want to buy my girlfriend some NFTs, and I'm a big baller." And he sends me an address to a wallet that's got all kinds of stuff in it, and again, not in my right mind. Ultimately, he winds up going through my wallet, and I'm interested in this baby Kong, and I had a matching VX to go with it, and perhaps maybe one of these toads, these mega toads. And I think you guys know how the story goes. Let's do this on pseudo swap. I'll set up the trade, and you know how that goes. And I watch my things go away, and no money come in before I realize it's just a transfer protocol essentially, and I get raked. Now this would just be a normal, boring story no one would want to listen to, but the reason I want to bring it up is because it kind of led me down a path that I didn't sleep that night. I was absolutely gutted by losing at the time, something like 15 grand worth of an NFT bundle. And I'm just sitting there at my computer, just like a shell of a person. And it's like, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden, and the guy blocks me, obviously, from Discord chat. All of a sudden, the guy sends me a friend request on Discord chat. The guy that just ripped me off. And I was like, immediately accepted it. I'm like, bro, he's like, first words out of his mouth, "Do you want your Kong baby back?" And I'm like, well, of course I do, man. Of course I do.
Was it a ransom?
Huh? Yeah, a ransom, full ransom. He's like, well, for some reason the protocol messed up and he didn't get my chunk, even though it was included in the trade. All he got was the Kong and the baby, which was bad enough. He said, "Listen, what I really wanted was that toad." So I'll tell you what I'll do. If you send me that toad, I'll send you back your Kong baby.
This guy is so ballsy. Oh my god.
Mate, I was born at night, but not last night, man. It just and I mean the just how evil this guy was. My wife will attest, man. The things this guy was saying is just like, hey, listen, and I don't have a lot of time, so if you could chop this up a little bit and send me that. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And what it did, obviously, I didn't send anything else, and I just took it on the chin. But what it did was it sent me kind of spiraling over to that community, and looking for some kind of, I'm an older dude and I was newer to the space. I mean, not really new. I've been in since last summer, but I just didn't know how to deal with this particular loss. What the moves were. OS takes 5 years to even get back to an email, and so I'm going to the communities saying, hey, is there anything I can do? Anything I can do? The one community that had nothing for me was the actual community of the NFTs that I got stolen, and that broke my heart. Really, it did. The one community that had me 100% was Subducks. When I came in, explained what had happened, man, I tell you what, I could have known nothing about Subducks, but that experience right there, I had everybody, people that I kind of knew, people that I didn't know, people that were legends in the space that I never thought I would get a chance to. Everybody reached out. And though obviously no one can do anything for me, just that they had me, you know what I mean? Was everything. And right there and then I sold every other Kong I had, and I bought ducks, and I'm all in. And this community, I mean, at the end of the day, what we're investing in here is communities, and I have been in a million of them, some of the bigger name ones, and just nothing comes close to Subducks.
Well, it's funny that, because the thing about our community is that it has a memory. And if it's a good community, it has a very, very, very long memory. And so the folklore of a community becomes a self-sustaining mechanism for good when it's working in the right way. And that's why I think if you have a good community and then you're in a position to do something good, it demonstrates to other people that there are people who do good there. And then they start to think, well, maybe I could do something good. And it becomes this self-sustaining mechanism. But if you don't have that, you don't have any leaders in that space. And I think you have massively taken on that role as being a leader in that community and paying it forward. Everyone else kind of follows along, and they want to be around that, and they also want to be noticed for doing the same thing. It's a huge positive reinforcement mechanism that nobody ever talks about.
Well, brother, I mean, you would know. I mean, the stories of what you have done in the past are pretty legendary too. And yeah, there is a saying, if you do well, you should do good. And the people that are winning in this space, the people that are really pioneering this space and doing good things, to turn around and do good things with it, and create up an environment of absolute positivity where it's not just always about, selling this and alpha that. It's just like good people that, reaching out on a DM and like, hey man, I heard about this thing. I'm so sorry, dude. I've made some of the sweetest, most sincere friendships here through the Subducks, man. I've had late night FaceTime laugh fests with some of the community. I mean, it's just, this is the place, brother. No question.
Which is why I'm giving one away. I want someone to experience that as well.
Okay, I'll go ahead and send you my wallet address then. And
it's not up to me. It's not up to me. I'm going to have to take off the stream and introduce the next one. But thanks so much for jumping on, Angeles. It's
be blessed. See ya.
Cheers. Next up, we have Bacco 2244. Are you there, sir?
Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hey, what's
Tell us your story.
So I just want to say I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I cannot be even more blessed just by being a part of the Subduck community. It's one of the few community that I actually experience it's just a project that has it all: the community, the art, the utility, the developers always providing stuff, the opportunities. It's just a full project. I was a big fan of Subducks when the floor was, I think, 0.8. And I was thinking of buying in. Then Gary V, I think, tweeted about it. Then the floor jumped to 2 or 3 ETH. Then I was like, oh no, I missed it. Then I was so hyped because the floor dropped a little bit, and I was able to join this community. So for me, let me tell you my story. So a rug for me is not just always when basically the people behind the project just rugging the people. It's also when the developers just give up on the project and stop doing anything with it. And I don't know if you guys know who Ben Baller is, but he's a famous jeweler in the United States. And he had a project. The idea was very unique. It's basically chains that provide coins. Those coins are called bars. And with these bars, you'll be able to mint gems. And with the gems, you'll be able to make bigger chains. So this was like roughly a year ago. So I went all in on that project. I literally invested probably between 20 to 25 grand, just going all in on that project. And slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly, like it's like maybe 3 weeks, we don't hear anything from like the guy. I mean, he's a famous guy. That was my lesson, to never like actually go in on just like, if somebody's famous, you got to go in his project. Like I never did that after that. Like no development. The contract was written so bad. So like a gym, if you wanted to mint the gym, for example, like the gym would cost between 100 to 200. The gas would be like 300, which is like weird because Giwi at the time was so low. And we were actually in the community telling the developers, telling the admins, like, could you actually fix this? Could you do this? Could you do collaboration? Could you do anything? This conversation took roughly 6 to 7 months. And then some people got really toxic with Ben Bowler, the guy, and they started actually sending him threats on Twitter and shit. So it was a whole big deal about it. But like right now, I'm sitting in my wallet. I had so much of these chains and gems, and each one is basically roughly worth like $2 to $3. And just to see my investment, like me investing in somebody's idea, because after all, we're not investing in the project, we're investing in the person who created the project, his idea. We like the idea and we wanted to see it become a reality and grow. But just seeing somebody gives up on his idea, and like basically all those people who invested money just losing their money like that just broke my heart, to be honest. And that was like my big main lesson in this industry. Like just like never just like because there's hype about it, there's a lot of people talking about it, doesn't mean it's a good idea. For example, everybody heard about subdocs, but you don't really see the big hype about it. No, you don't. It's just like you said like a while ago, it's not like Azuki or like Bored Ape. You don't see that big hype, but everybody heard about Subduck. It's a well-established project, and that's basically what I've been aiming for, to be honest, ever since. Like just go for the well-established project, and for me that project's always going to be my Subduck, to be honest.
Thank you for sharing your story, Bako2224. I wish I knew your real name, but you don't have to share.
My name is Gabby. Bako is my nickname. Everybody calls me Bako.
Fantastic. Thanks very much. We will bear that in mind.
Goodbye.
Now, King Squallow, are you back there?
Yes, I am. Do you hear me?
We hear you. We hear you. Have another go.
Oh, awesome. So I was just telling you that I was scrolling one night on my Twitter, and then Kevin became a star, in space. And then they dropped this collection called Lives of Kevin, basically just all memes, NFTs. And by that time, probably I just had gotten like 3 to 4 NFTs. So my liquidity wasn't that much. And I bought at an all-time high, which it was only about 0.1 ETH, but at the moment was a lot. And just seeing how that project progressed later on, it was just really painful to see like $400. I mean, yeah, like $600 worth than just like $10 after. And you just like back to said, there's lesson learned. You tend to know that not everything is about hype. It's about ideas and about the builders behind those ideas. And I just accepted that loss, and I keep my Lives of Kevin meme NFTs in my wallet, just to remind myself that if I don't have conviction, if I don't trust who's behind the project, if it's only everything driven by hype, and if I always like to see in my wallet anything that I'm gonna know that within a week, a month, or a year from today, I'm gonna like to have still in my wallet. And so probably not the best decision I did in the Lives of Kevin. And that's how I rock myself, because I'm pretty sure the founders of that project didn't promise any kind of utility. It was just a meme-driven project, just to get people in, and that's how I basically run myself. And hopefully, it's not gonna happen again. And I've learned into just buying projects that have reliable people behind them with good community. I'm a cyber brokers holder, and I really like that community. I also have a Christopher Fuck render, some avatars, and Unburned Essence. I really like that community as well, and I'm looking forward to being in another community that know that it will have my back, and just try to go to my Discord and delete a bunch of Discord channels that do not add much on me, and just trying to narrow it down to other projects.
There's so much in this space which is designed to make you feel stupid and designed to make you feel like an idiot because you don't know as much as somebody else. And the truth is that nobody really knows anything. And so you can over time appreciate and understand people who do have a better understanding of the art that they're putting forward, but also the space that they're in from a technical standpoint as well. And I can probably count on the fingers of one hand how many projects I feel have a mastery, and not just an understanding, but a mastery of all of the aspects of it. And those are the projects that I try and spend more time in. But there aren't many of them, and that's actually a good thing. It means you can be very selective. But I also think it's quite useful to get wrecked from time to time, as long as it doesn't hurt too bad, because then you become more mindful of this stuff and don't just take unnecessary risks. But yes, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Can I add something else? Yeah, I feel like just like you said, like everyone, like no one knows what's gonna happen with probably NFTs within a year, 5 years, 10 years from today. And most of us were new into the space, but yeah, there are tools available for us to keep learning and educating ourselves. And something that I really like about this space is how welcoming it is. For example, I'm a marine biologist as a profession, and then for me, it's like hard to highlight in career panels or important conferences. However, within Web3, you just need to have a Twitter handle, kind of be generally open, express your ideas, ask for help, and just like I'm here today talking to you guys, and thank you for having me. Anyone can seek for help and get the right information.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's an underrated and underappreciated piece of the community puzzle, that everyone is at a different level in their journey. And I think Vector, Dan, Alex would probably mirror that sentiment, but it's who can help you and when can they help you. It's never the same thing. And I might be able to help you today, but I wouldn't be able to help you tomorrow. But what's really important is that you just recognize that everyone is basically a tiny little fish in a massive sea, and together we can do a lot. But really, it only works if everyone kind of respects each other to some degree. And it's very, very hard to find that level of respect in most communities because everyone's there for the short-term gain, the short-term buzz. So trying to figure out that puzzle, it requires leadership from so many different people, and also just this firm belief that someone who is good now isn't going to turn bad in a week, because that also happens. That's the worst thing, when someone who's genuinely good makes a mistake and then doubles down on that mistake. Because making a mistake once is fine, but doubling down on that mistake, that's when things really go bad, because they start covering up, and you get this whole mechanic where they create this fantasy of who they are, and because everything's anonymous, I mean, it's terrifying. But thank you so much for sharing your story, King Squaller. We have one last person to add to the story, and that is Jahamak, who we began with. So there's some kind of circularity to this.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me this time?
Yes.
Wonderful. Right. So my story isn't necessarily like a rug. It is all technically my fault. But anyways, I have access to an OpenSea bot, right? And what this bot is designed to do is snipe fat finger listings, right? So say you've got a floor price for a project at around 2 ETH. What I can do is set this bot to buy anything under, I don't know, 0.5 ETH. So if someone accidentally lists their NFT for, I don't know, 0.1, it's going to immediately try and buy that. So ages and ages ago, months ago, when Timepiece originally dropped their NFT, I set this bot up to run anything under 1.75 ETH. At the time, I think the floor was 2 ETH. And I can't fully remember what happened, but I must have got up, left it running, and then I come back and find out that it's purchased 2 timepieces for 1.75 ETH each, which at the time was just the floor price because the floor had dropped. And so now I'm stuck with 2 timepiece NFTs, and then over time it just drops and drops and drops. So it's kind of, I get what I deserve for using that bot, but yeah, that's like $10,000 now worth, I think, maybe 1,000. So that's my story. Not necessarily a rug, but my wrongdoing, I suppose.
Well, it's inexperience.
It is.
That's
Yeah.
what that is. That's inexperience.
It
And
is.
like I think there's a lot of us that have gone to this space that have been seduced by the idea of bots, and also those trading view bots where it goes up and it says sell, and there's a little indicator that says buy, and you start to become a slave to these buy and sell signals. And of course, what they never tell you is that strategy over 12 months it should be net positive, but it doesn't mean that it won't be negative quite a lot of the time. And dealing with that and knowing that over 12 months you'll be up, but over like the 3-2 whatever month period that you're looking at it and evaluating it, you could be all down, and it's not the bot's fault. That's just you're playing the odds there.
I know, especially with how fast it was at the time. So I mean, I set it to buy anything under 1.75, and with the floor at 2, I thought, well, there's no way it's going to drop that much by the time I get up and go to the kitchen and come back. But lo and behold, the floor tanks, and I just pick up the floor, and then I'm left
and
with
you are the liquidity. Yeah,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a dangerous game we play, but it's also the high risk, high reward. So I think that's a good place to round it out here. I'm going to, while Alex and Vector and Dan adjudicate and think about this. So we had King Squallow, we had CX NFT Unreal, we had Alex Gill, we had James, we had Goose, we had Anchicles, we had Bacco 2224, and we had Jahamuk. So have a little think about it. My own REKT story is hilarious because I was doing my own NFT drop called the Rug Pool, and I was selling 12 NFTs, one of which contained a Bitcoin. And it wouldn't be clear which one had the Bitcoin in it, but these 12 NFTs should collectively add up to a Bitcoin if the market was correct. But of course, you could look inside the NFT and discover whether it had a Bitcoin or not. And if you were wrong, it would flag to the other collectors whether you had looked inside and whether you were incorrect or correct. So if anyone looked inside, it would then make the remaining NFTs in the collection more valuable. And so over time, it became this sort of NFT game that had a timeline to it that would track the price of Bitcoin. And I thought that would render into a piece of NFT art a mechanic that would keep it interesting, because a lot of NFT art, you buy it once and it's just like, well, now what do I do? And then you have to find someone else to sell it to and to persuade of the value of that art. This wouldn't do that. This would just be tracking the Bitcoin price. So as the Bitcoin went up, the NFTs themselves became more valuable. It got hacked, but actually to promote it, what I did was I did a bit of street theater. So I basically, I set up a Telegram group, and over the course of 5 days, I did these games. I would airdrop people NFTs. And then on the 5th day, I did this kind of weird cryptic video in which I basically exposed the private keys to my wallet. And this is a wallet I'd had for 4 years. So it had a history to it. It had a bunch of tokens in it. And people went into that wallet once they realized, they cracked the code and they realized what was going on, and they just took everything. It took them a little while to figure it out because I'd exposed them to a bunch of storytelling, and they were talking to each other, and they were thinking, is it the right thing to do to take the tokens out of this wallet? But one by one, they did, because once one person had done it, they all would do it. These were not scammers. These were not people who would normally do this, but because one person had done it, it gave permission to all the others to do it. So it was a really interesting experiment in just what people do in a communal situation, peer pressure. So my challenge, this is on a Friday, my challenge was to get it back. So I exposed everything got taken, and then over 3 days, I mind fucked the entire community into giving it all back, except for one token. So it was about 4.5 grand worth of Avogotchi tokens, Ghost, which didn't come back. But I got everything else back. And I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't nothing. And it felt horrific. But that was me rugging myself and then just believing in myself to be a good enough storyteller to whip this community into a position where giving it back was better than keeping it. And that's a pretty mean magic trick. So I did it in a bunch of different ways, and I'd gotten them to give up like their wallet addresses in a Google sheet. And I then told them, oh, by the way, when you filled in that Google sheet, I got all of your information about you. And now I know exactly who you are. I will dox you. And if you don't give it back, this is what I'm going to do. And then most of it came back, apart from one. 6 months later, I got a random deposit of meme tokens that just coincidentally happened to line up exactly with the amount of Ghost tokens that had been taken. So over the 6 months, I got everything back. And I didn't do anything other than tell them a great story. And it is the incredible power of storytelling. That's what scammers use to do something terrible. You can also do to get something back and reverse scam. And I thought that was just, and it stuck with me. And like, I kind of forgotten I'd done it, but like I rugged myself and then I challenged myself to de-rug using only the power of storytelling and mindfuckery. And it worked. And, and that was nuts.
You're like David Blaine of NFTs.
I wish, right? Like if I just rolled my sleeves up.
I see the movie here.
Yeah, the movie.
It's called Taken.
I got this NFT, right? So like,
I'm gonna put it through my arm.
Let's go. I'm gonna drink it yet. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. So
Taken.
Alexander Newton, Dan the NFT man of Vector Meldrew, have you decided on a winner? Who do you think is worthy of the Subduck?
Who was the guy? I think it was before Goose or Goose, but the guy that also lost his wages. I felt for that guy. That felt very authentic.
That was James. That's my community manager.
Oh no, not him. Then he's out. That's it's Rick. No, he was James. I like James.
Who resonated with you?
I was firmly on Bacco 2244, mainly for one, the amount, because I am notoriously cowardly and I don't think I could go all in on one project no matter what. And I just the cojones to just commit to it and then for it to fall flat. I feel for him for that.
It's hard, isn't it? Like there's everyone has a story, and I really do resonate with all of them because I've been rugged pretty hard myself in crypto. And it's painful. I can't really pick one. But what I will say...
That's your job.
It's not how this works. Not how this works, Alex.
What I will say is that I'll include a third prize in this.
Ooh.
Grand prize and runner-up. Robin, you choose those. But what I will say is participation prize for everyone because everyone's been rugged. Come to the Movie Farm Discord, discord.gg/Movie Farm. And talk to James like ASAP, and we'll get you a cool movie key NFT when we do our drop as a third prize for everyone who's told their rug story today. So if I can add to the giving to ease the pain in any way.
And just like that, Alex has evolved into Oprah.
He's a rainbow demon, just dispensing pure nuggets of Technicolor wizardry straight from his anus, and that is a beautiful image to capture what's going on here. I have a clear winner in my book. I'm gonna lay the marker down for James. Is anyone with me on James?
Yeah, James. Yeah. James.
We have a majority. So listen, Alex has stolen my thunder because as we were doing this, it became abundantly clear that everybody who spoke and was brave enough to speak up and tell their story deserves something. So you will all get a King Frog. James, congratulations. You are the winner of the Subduck. And you must connect with Dan, the NFT man, and do all the administrative duties. But if you cannot reach us, just grab me on Twitter, Supermassive1, and give me your wallet details, and we will make sure that we get those to you over the next few days or so. But James, congratulations. You are the winner. It was an amazing story. Antricles, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story, and to everyone who joined and told us their story. Now, listen, we were supposed to go into a whole other interview with Arlo Eisenberg and Alex Smeel from NFT Non-Fungible Labs. We've gone on way too long. This was fucking awesome. Honestly, having you guys and sharing these stories and keep doing something fucking real, that is why we do this. And I'm very happy we did so. But like I said, everyone, you get a king frog, you get a king frog, you get a king frog, you get a king frog.
Goodbye.
Oh, what? I pressed the wrong one again.
Oh my god.
It is a legend.
I've lost it. It's too late. It's too late. Oh. So my special thanks to Alex Newton. Do go and check out his film, Beautiful Blue Eyes. He was a young man when he was in it, but with an absolute screen legend. And his drop will be very, very soon. The NFTs look incredible. Vector Meldrew, thanks so much as always. You have your own drop on Nifty Gateway right now. Mental breakdown. It is
breakthrough.
Just
Mental breakthrough. There's a difference.
Breakthrough. We break through. We don't break down.
Amazing art, Vector. That is incredible art, mate. Like that.
Thank you.
He's a don. He's a G. And Dan, the NFT man, is sitting there taking your wallet addresses right now. So please make sure you give them to him so that we can send you out your prizes. And thanks to everyone who came on and shared their story. It really means a lot. And for me, well, have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful Easter, of course. And if you don't celebrate Easter, well, then, just eat a lot of chocolate.
Have a happy Passover.
Happy Passover.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was the NFT Open Metaverse Show, whatever we want to call it now. This was the Defiant. Stay defiant. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I'm not supposed to press the end music, but as I've forgotten, I'm not there. I'm not there. That's the countdown. So there we go.